WAOH is brought to you in part by Ohio's #1 trusted real estate team, The Young Team, online at theyoungteam.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to WAOH AOH Primetime as we continue our mission to serve the community by bringing you stories from the great organizations that really help to serve and improve our community. And, of course, at the top of the list is Summit County Children's Services. And with us now is Leah Marino. And you wear a lot of hats. You are the Director of Community Outreach. You're the person in charge of Community Outreach. But describe your formal title and then tell us what the job really is.
Sure. Yes. So I'm the Community Outreach Specialist at Summit County Children's Services, which you're right, encompasses a lot of things. Mostly anytime the agency is working within the community, whether that's at outreach events or events out in the community, festivals, anywhere where we want to kind of be out and be participating with the community. I would kind of oversee any of those logistics. Anytime we're working with donors or volunteers, really anytime our community wants to interact with the agency, they would kind of come through our doors back through community relations. And yeah,
Speak about the donor community and where those dollars go, the opportunities to give, to contribute, and then where those dollars go and how they're used.
Yes, we are extremely fortunate in Summit County because we have a very resource-rich community that we live in, a very generous community. So yes, I have the pleasure of working with lots of donors throughout the year. Everything from the holiday program, which is probably like the biggest opportunity to, donate toys or gift cards or anything at that holiday time, the season of giving. So that's always really nice. And then from school supplies, so coming up this summer, we'll be asking for donations of school supplies to stuff some backpacks and get kiddos the things they need to have a great school year. But we take donations all year round. So whether it is, financial, and we're funding our Beds for Kids program that supplies bed and promotes beds and sheets and blankets, pillows, any sort of items needed for safe sleep. So we take donations for that year round. Let's see, what else?
When I think of beds, I think of the movie The Blind Side. Yeah. One of the best scenes is when Sandra Bullock's character got Michael a bed. Yes. And he walked in and he goes, "Oh my gosh, I've never had this." And she said, "You've never had your own room?" And he goes, "No, I've never had a bed."
Yeah.
And that's one of those moments in that movie that strikes you. And when we did a story on the Beds for Kids and came over and saw your beautiful facility, all the space you have to take in things.
Yes.
There's a great need. There are kids that don't have beds.
There are kids that do not have beds. That's right. So everything from crib, toddler size to twin. Safe sleep is so important. So anything we can do to help our caseworkers, our children, our family set that up, then we are absolutely going to do that. Yeah.
Do you find that donors are extremely generous, of course, but then when they're giving something they know is going to make a direct impact? When you donate a toy or a gift card or a backpack or school supplies, there is no, 10% goes to administrative costs. 100% of your donation goes to making a direct impact when the child in need gets the school supplies.
That is right. There's 100% of whatever comes through those doors is hopefully going right back out to a family or a kiddo in need. So yeah, we just love having the support from the community. Like you said, whether it's school supplies, a toy, gift cards, or whatever, anything that can make someone's life a little bit easier, maybe alleviate financial pressure off of a foster family or maybe a family that's getting ready to reunify. Any ways that we can help support, we want to do that.
We'll remind our viewers that one of the best things you can do is pay attention to your emails and your social media. And the same thing here at WAOH is sometimes there's generous people that are living their lives and doing their thing. And then they if we're off the radar, so they need to follow you on Facebook. They need to follow us, of course. And together we can remind the community when those giving opportunities are for dropping things off or, as you mentioned, the holiday event and all of that. Right. Very important to follow on Facebook. That's where you communicate.
Yes, that's where we do a majority of our communications. So, on Facebook, Summit County Children's Services, on Instagram, Summit County Children's Services. So, be sure to always check in on those platforms, and that's where we'll be updating most of our messages and putting out those calls for donations.
Are there volunteer opportunities for people that want to donate their time? And what does that look like? How do you get involved? How do you get that set up?
Yes, absolutely. Again, majority of it happens at the holiday time. So in December, we have lots, pretty much every day, starting that first week of December all the way up until the day before Christmas Eve, so the 23rd. We have people in there 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. wrapping gifts, bringing toys by sorting things, and just helping out with our Adopt a Family program. And that's always a great time. We have businesses come through, or just friend groups or family members that have been coming year after year to help get everything wrapped up and out to those families and kids. And that's our biggest volunteer program. But all throughout the year, I mean, we have small projects here and there. If it's one person, I actually just last week had a group of students come in to do their volunteer hours, and that was awesome. They went through and organized and cleaned and got rid of things that no longer kind of fit our needs. So it's been great to have the community want to spend time and get to know the agency and give back.
Some schools require a community service project, which is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
I'm sure you probably did one or two, or did they require almost every summer? That's good. That's a very important thing to have, to volunteer at every level. And clarify too for the audience to understand that when you think of volunteering for children's services, you might have a volunteer opportunity that doesn't involve respite care or the things that a licensed foster parent would do. These are things to support the operations. So you're not doing respite care or foster care work. You're not volunteering in that side of it. You're volunteering to support the operations, and clarify that.
Absolutely. Great distinction, because yes, this would have pretty much fall in a totally supportive role, separate from what a foster or a respite program would look like.
Sure.
So this is more going to be supporting the organization, not so much an individual family or child. Even though everything we do comes back to that ultimate mission.
Sure.
But this would be more so, during the workday, during those like main business hours, back in case hall and community relations. So it could be anything from organizing some of the donations that we've gotten to maybe cleaning our visitation areas, things like that. But it would really be very minimal contact with our clients, if you will.
And of course, an overwhelmed warehouse full of toys and donations is a wonderful problem to have. So the volunteers could potentially be making sure everything's on the shelves, making sure everything's ready for kids. Do you ever have to assemble any toys?
Sometimes,
Sometimes there's the IKEA furniture that might come in.
Yeah.
You're going to give a kid a desk, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of those, I think right now I have a couple boxes that need assembled of like toy scooters or something that were donated. So they came in a box, but they need to be assembled before they find a home.
Let's wrap up with two things. First of all, I would guess that a person could make an impact on your operation, your organization, and help serve and support Summit County Children's Services, maybe even with just a few hours a week or a few hours a month. That can make an impact.
Yes.
And how would they find you? What's the best way the number to call directly to say, I saw this interview, I'd heard you talking about volunteering to support the mission. How do I contact?
Yeah, that would be me. And my phone number is 330-379-1980. Or they could email me directly at leah.marino@summitkids.org. And that's the direct line. And I would be happy to get them set up with an opportunity.
Sure. Wonderful. So you heard it right here. This is what these segments are all about, is finding ways that all of us here in the Akron, Summit County area can make a difference in our community and find a way to use our time to support the great organizations making a difference, like Summit County Children's Services. Obviously, opportunities to volunteer and spend your time making a difference. We'll be back with more here at WAOH. Stay with us.